Hello and welcome everyone to our very first YouTube video update for our SIO members, where we'll be taking a look at the latest Bitcoin price action and some on-chain or blockchain data and see what this might mean for your portfolios going forward. Today I would like to discuss two things that I think you will find very interesting, to say the least. And yes, Roy, this is the video that I was talking about, so enough talk, let's get into it. Okay, so the two things I want to discuss with you today are, number one, the longer term Bitcoin price action, and for that we'll be looking at the charts. And number two, the actual transactions taking place on the Bitcoin blockchain, and for that we'll be using a blockchain explorer. Let's start with number one, which is the long-term price action, and for that I'm going to draw your attention to this weekly chart of the Bitcoin price. In order to show you the longer term price action, I need to zoom out, but you'll see that this chart is not very usable because during the early parts of Bitcoin's history, even though on a percentage basis the price was very volatile, the absolute value of dollar price swings were minuscule compared to the more recent history. So we simply correct for that by changing this currently linear scale to a log scale, and voila, we have a much better picture of the Bitcoin price action over the longer term. I am quickly going to switch off these indicators of mine and switch on what we call the logarithmic growth curves. I've spent quite a bit of time adjusting the settings for these curves to give us the best fit, which I will explain to you shortly. Now, each of these growth curves are based on Fibonacci levels, and I'm not going to explain Fibonacci at all. I'm sure you're not that interested, but I would like to just show you how beautifully it captures the price action. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more. So for example, you can see here during the early parts of 2011, it hits that particular Fibonacci level, finds some support there, hits that bottom part, finds support. It's absolutely fantastic how it just manages to hit the Fibonacci levels beautifully, right? And there you can see it finds some resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, gets to nearly that particular level, and so on and so on. This is the more recent price action from 2017, where it hits the top of the curve, comes all the way down, finds some support there, finds support here. You guys get the idea. It is really great at capturing the price action. So now look at where we are right now. Over the last couple of weeks, when Bitcoin topped out, it nearly hit this particular Fibonacci level here, right? And then it retraced all the way. We found some support here and we had broken down. This is the last week that we are in. Have a look at this and you'll see, look at that. It beautifully bounced off that particular Fibonacci level there, which as you can see is around the 28,000 level. If we had to drop further, which I don't think is that likely, the next level to come down to would be around the $24,000 mark. But rather than speculate about how far the price will go, what I really want to show you is this. I'm going to zoom out some more and have a look. If we continue all the way out until the end of this year, for example, there we are on the 3rd of Jan, what is the potential upside there? You're looking at around $140,000, $150,000 per Bitcoin by the end of the year as a possibility. So that's really what I wanted to tell you guys, is that despite the volatility we are seeing now, the longer term picture for Bitcoin does look good because it has been following a parabolic growth curve, and that is why we are using the logarithmic scales to just more easily visualize the price action. Okay, the longer term price action for Bitcoin looks really healthy, and there are lots of other fundamental reasons why, but we're not going to that today. Okay, now I've done a similar thing on the daily chart, also using logarithmic growth curves, but here I've changed the settings slightly to give me better fits over the more recent price action, because the older price action from years ago is now less relevant. And so the curves are slightly different compared to the weekly view. And what I would like to show you is on a daily basis, look at what's happened. Here we have bounced off perfectly when we topped out recently off that particular Fibonacci level. We found support at this level, we broke down, and we broke further down, and then we found some more support. And we have actually broken down through that particular level. If we continue on a downward trend, and remember we are on a downward trend for the time being, if we continue, then according to these set of curves, I don't see us going lower than, say, $27,000. There are many traders out there who are adamant that if we break the $30,000 support level, we are going down to 20,000. I don't believe that's going to happen based on my analysis, but I'm also going to support my thinking there with the blockchain analysis I'm going to come to just now. And the other thing I found really uncanny is how this particular Fibonacci level here amazingly coincides with this 200-day moving average that hundreds of thousands of crypto traders all over the world believe in. I personally think the idea of using a moving average as a support or resistance is ridiculous, because the period you choose is very arbitrary, but never mind that. Everyone uses it, and therefore it's something that I have to be aware of. But it's just so uncanny that the 200-day moving average happens to coincide exactly with that particular fib level. Okay, so if we see one more leg down, it won't go back further down, say this $27,000 level. All right, okay, now let's move on to the second part of the discussion. Okay, now we are going to have a look and see what's happening on the blockchain itself. You guys can do this yourselves. You just go and look at any blockchain explorer. There is btc.com, which is the one that I'm currently using here. You can go to blockstream.info, which is this one over here. There's Bitcoin Explorer. There's a whole bunch of these explorers that you guys can go and use. I'm going to go to btc.com, which I have open up here. And when you click on the stats menu item, it brings up this particular page. And the page I want to drill into is this one, the address rich list. These are the whales, the guys that have huge amounts of Bitcoin. If you click on that, and today would be good, have a look at the top Bitcoin addresses and the Bitcoin balances that they have. Massive. Now, I've been following two of them. This guy that's number 4 on the list, and this guy that's number 1 on the list, or lady or company, we don't know. And they have reasonably high-ish transaction counts over the last 30 days. So, if we go to this particular gentleman's transactions, which is I've got over here, have a look at this. Now, this might look technical and intimidating. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to show you the highlights. So if we look at this particular wallet address, it received a monumental number of Bitcoins recently. It has been buying the dip. And this particular Bitcoin holder was very good at spotting the top. He or she sold at the top, and they are now busy buying. Let me illustrate. I'm just scrolling down. On the 24th of this month, that was 3 days ago, there was 1,000 Bitcoins that he or she bought. Another 1,044 also on the 24th. And again on the 24th, another 1,000. That makes it 3,044 so far. And on the 22nd, another 1,062 Bitcoins. That's a massive amount of Bitcoins that they are picking up while the price is absolutely coming down. So when was the 24th? If we go to this particular daily chart, the 24th was here. So they bought around this particular level of $34,500. Let's go back and have a look at the other gentleman or lady. Let's Let's go to the top and scroll down. Wow, look at this. On the 24th, he or she bought 2,000 Bitcoins and another 2,000 Bitcoins, another 2,000 Bitcoins. That's 6,000 Bitcoins so far, all on the 24th. That was inconsequential. That's inconsequential. Nothing much there. Nothing much there. Woo, a whopping 2,000 Bitcoins on the 29th of May. And the price on the 29th of May was, wow, around the $35,000 mark as well. So even though there's a lot of panic and bearishness in the Bitcoin market right now, it is predominantly those who have not been in Bitcoin for that long and they've lost faith in the price and they are dropping it. These whales understand the long-term value of Bitcoin and they are busy scooping up the Bitcoins while other people are selling out of panic. And again, this is something that I wanted to bring to you to let you know that don't sell your Bitcoins, number one. And number two, I don't believe the price will go all the way to $20,000 because these whales are busy scooping it up even here in the mid $30,000 levels. All right, guys, that's enough for one video. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. I hope this update was useful for you. You're welcome to subscribe to this channel and to hit the bell notification button if you want to get notifications. But not to worry, because I will always let you guys know whenever I put a video update here for you. Other than that, have a fantastic week and best of luck with everything. Bye for now.